What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Injection of Inspiration, where every single Saturday I, Graham G.S. Matthews, inject you with a daily dose of motivational advice, helpful tips, and all that other great positive shit. So today, I came across this quote online and I thought it was great. It's from Amelia Earhart. The quote was, "Being alone is scary, but not as scary as feeling alone in a relationship." Now, we all feel lonely at various points. And for me, I thought, and I know I've discussed this before on past episodes of Injection of Inspiration, but I know I've felt in the past, well before I met my girlfriend, well before, a lot of stuff went down a few years ago, that the only way I would ever be happy is if I would ever find someone. Finding the one, quote unquote. And I talked about that in one of the early episodes of Injection of Inspiration. Finding the one and how you find the one and why it's going to happen when you least expect it. Blah, 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 blah. But finding the one, finding someone that you can call your own, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, whatever, is not going to cure your loneliness. Having kids is not going to cure your loneliness. A lot of people will feel down in their lives, and they feel like doing certain things will cure that. First and foremost, being productive and doing things to keep busy and stay busy and doing things that are going to matter is a great way to help with your loneliness. First and foremost. Second thing, having kids, meeting someone, yeah, it might help. It might be putting a Band-Aid over a gunshot wound, but it's not going to solve anything in the long term. If anything, it's going to make itself worse because you're merely exposing your weaknesses to other people, which is fine. Obviously, you should be doing that. You should be, you should be able to feel vulnerable about, around others that you trust. I'm not saying that. But you cannot expect anyone to solve your problems. The people that matter most to you, they're not going to solve your problems. You are going to solve your problems. Those people, they're there to help you solve your problems with you, not for you. They're there to ensure you don't solve those problems alone. That's what purpose they serve. They're there to support you and love you and be there for you and care for you. So never forget that. But no one is ever going to solve your problems. They're there to help you ensure that you're not going to solve them alone. And loneliness will be there, no matter whether you're in a relationship, whether you're not in a relationship. You might feel this empty spot within you. That's completely normal. Never be in a relationship or have kids and think that that's, an issue or no one else experiences the same thing. And as I've said here in the show before, that's completely normal. And absolutely no, there are many, 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 many other people out there, a lot like you, that are going through the exact same thing. And they too also want to ensure that you're not going through that alone. Loneliness is going to come and go. Being by yourself is not a bad thing. You got to be independent in life. You can't completely depend on other people constantly. You can't always be one of those type of people where I always have to be around this person. I always have to be around that person. And if I'm by myself, alone with my thoughts, it's a bad place to be in. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you absolutely have to be by yourself to solve the issues that you've been dealing with for a long time now. Being by yourself, being alone is essential sometimes. Loneliness is not always a bad thing. Having friends and family, and of course, that type of stuff helps. But sometimes the only other person that you'll need to be happy in your lifetime is you. You don't need a spouse, you don't need a boyfriend or a girlfriend. That type of stuff isn't bad. It's merely to help you, help add to your journey along the way. They're there not to be the end game of your journey in your life. They're there to help you with your journey along your lifetime. So never forget that. Loneliness can be cured. Sometimes it's one of those type of things, a lot like depression, which I've talked about here before in the show, that can't be cured, quote unquote, but it can be dealt with in positive, productive ways. And, dealing with other people, finding out with other people, what other people go through, and stuff like that. So addressing the issue, not ignoring it, is the best way to go about it. Because loneliness is a very common thing with a lot of people. They feel like, though, that as I had said with the quote, which I thought, perfectly summed it up, being alone, is scary for a lot of people, but it's not as scary, in my opinion, as being alone in a relationship, which is completely common with a lot of people. A lot of people are out there in relationships that feel that they're alone even more so with that person than they are when they're by themselves, which I know kind of doesn't make much sense, but when you really think about it and when you experience it, it definitely does. There's a lot of relationships out there with people that, they're just together just for the sake of simply being together. And that's it. They have nothing in common. They don't really like each other. And in that respect, they feel alone. And sometimes the only real way to cure that is to be by yourself, to split away from that person, and to see what being by yourself can really accomplish. Because you can accomplish a lot on your own and also with that person, but only if you really want to. So it's pretty scary to feel that when you're with someone else, you really feel lonely with someone else. That's scary, because people get into relationships thinking that loneliness will go away. Sometimes it won't. It likely won't. Don't go into a relationship thinking that person's going to solve all your problems. They're going to help solve your problems with you, not for you, like I said before. So keep that in mind. Thank you for checking out Injection of Inspiration right here on the channel. I appreciate it. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. I'll be back next Saturday with another all-new installment of Injection of Inspiration. Till then, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews. Enjoy your St. Patrick's Day today, and I'll catch your ass down the road.